Hello knockouts, Tonya TKO here, and I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTko.com. I help you learn how to love yourself and each other. Today we're going to be talking about dating a married man. I didn't take notes for this video, so I'm going to be going off the cuff, and I'm going to be asking you questions in the video for you to write your comments and stuff below. I'm going to be speaking to you from the heart, so stay tuned for that so that we can jump into it. I'm going to talk about how if you are dating a married man, you don't love yourself. And he doesn't love you either. And I'm going to talk to you from the heart about why. So listen, this video, like my other videos, is sponsored by my book, the Book of Affirmations, Self-Love. And especially if you're contemplating or in a relationship with a married man, you have got to reattune yourself to self-love. So in this book, it is a workbook and an affirmations journal where you will be writing out affirmations and you will be answering questions that will help you dive deep and really get to know yourself and some of the things that you may be grappling with in this life. Especially, listen, if you're interested in somebody who's unavailable, this book is especially for you because you're going to have to reattune yourself to self-love. All right, this book is available on Amazon. You just search for Tonya TKO on Amazon and you'll see the book right there. The cover is exactly like that, and it has amazing reviews on there from both men and women. And mamas, please get this book for your children as well, because it makes a difference in them becoming who it is that they choose to be. So let's just talk off the cuff. We can have a girlfriend to girlfriend conversation, right? If you are dating a married man, you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself. And here's why. Why would you want to be in a position where you are number 2, 3, or 4 in a person's life, where this person has another person, another human being ahead of you, in front of you, who will choose them over you? In the last video, I just recorded a Monday video, that's why I don't have the notes for this video. I was talking about in that video how a woman needs to feel special if there's something relegated for their relationship that no other relationship has. And when you put yourself in the space of dating a married man, you place yourself down on the hierarchy in his life below his wife, because at the end of the day, she is the one. She is the one he decided to marry. She is the one who he has exalted. She is the one who he has decided to share assets with. And if all else fails, his assets will be shared with her. She's the one who has joined his family tree. He is the one who signed a contract with that woman right there. And men are, how do I put this? They're a little different than maybe some other people. When a man marries believing that he is going to be in this marriage forever. And he will do whatever it is that he needs to do to be able to stay in that marriage. You know, ego becomes involved, support system, decision. You know, he's made a decision. He's put his stamp on it. He's put his word. He swore before God and country or family or whoever that this is the woman. And so if he's a man that is worth his weight in salt, is a man who has the integrity enough to be able to want to stand by his word, the word that he spoke before a court, a justice of the peace, or a congregation. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. He chose her. When he dies, his assets are going to her. If something happens to him and someone needs to come to the hospital or sign paper or be next of kin, it's her. His assets are going to her children that were created of this union. You are on the outside of that. And if he has children with her, she comes first. Then come the children, however many they have. And then there's you. Why would you want to put yourself in a position where there is a person who is choosing another woman's desires, comfort, and wishes above you, where he takes what she needs into consideration before what it is that you may want or need, so that if you want to hang out, where she is and what she's doing and what she needs comes first. If he's with you and he's been away too long And she's going to start calling, wanting to know where he is, or he can't spend the night, or this, or that, or the other, or the kids need to wish daddy good night, or good morning to daddy, or daddy got to take the kids, or this, or the other. He would choose his family first. They are his family. When all is said and done, his assets, his time, his commitment are with them. He is committed to them. And if he is cheating with you, there's no way that he loves you, because he is putting you in a position where he is giving you a man who is unavailable. He's giving you a situation where you're not being honored and respected, where you come way down on the list in terms of his priorities and who it is that he's going to look out for, where his assets are going. He's giving you a man who has his assets tied up in another woman, has his assets tied up in a family, who has joined somebody else onto his family tree. He's giving you a man who cannot put you first. How can you love a person without respecting them enough to give them what it is that they deserve, so that he would take and absorb of your fertile years? Listen to what it is that I'm saying, sis. Listen. That he would take and absorb your fertile years, abscond them, so that you are using your life hours, your fertile years, your youth, your beauty on him, and not loving you enough to be like, you know what? I must allow you, under all circumstances, to be able to find a man who is right for you, to find a man who can put you first. How can he love you? Listen, how can he love you? And he's giving you a man who cannot put you first, who will not put you first, who has put somebody else first. How can he love you when you were way down on the list? How can he love you, sis? How? If he loved you, he would let you go. If he loved you, he would allow you to find a man of your own. Listen to me. If he loved you, listen. If he loved you, he wouldn't keep you tangled up in a situation where you are some broken side branch off of his family tree and unacknowledged. Listen, you have no acknowledgement in this relationship, sis. When Christmas comes around, where is he? When Thanksgiving comes around, where is he? When the children need him, where is he? And when the wife snaps her finger, where does he go? He goes running to the people that he committed to. And he is using and absorbing your life, your fertility, your youth, and your beauty without letting you go, sis. How can he love you? How? I implore you, listen. If you are with a man who is of poor enough or lack enough of integrity to be able to attempt to maintain more than one relationship with lies and deceit in the first place, if you have the misfortune of being with a man who would place his desires, his wife's wants, his kids' needs, and all of that stuff, his family's needs ahead of you, and just have you there like some broken branch blowing in the wind off the fractionated side of his real family tree, a twig laying down on the ground with no acknowledgement, to be stepped on, crushed, and discarded. Because when all is said and done, if all is said and done, if you become too much of a hassle, too much of a headache, where does he go? He goes back to his wife. If you need to talk, if you need something, if you need him to stay in the fight with you, where does he go? Leaves that fight because it's inconvenient. This isn't fun anymore, and he goes back. As a matter of fact, I've been wanting to say this for years. Sis, if you're dating a married man, you're actually keeping him in that wedding or in that marriage even longer. You're providing a space for him to be able to unwind, unleash, vent, give above himself, relinquish in this relationship while it's convenient for him, trading in your youth and beauty. What is it that you gain from being a voluntary, unpaid prostitute? Listen, what is it that you gain? You lose your youth, you lose your beauty, you lose your fertility capabilities in this relationship. For what? For what? To be with a man who is of such poor integrity that he would be a liar, a cheater, and a thief? Because a liar is a cheater and a cheater is a thief. So you're with a thief, stealing time, absconding your youth, and lying to another woman that he's committed to. That's who you want, sis? A liar? A liar? Now, it's a different story if they down with the polyamory get down. That's a whole different story. If wifey boo is on the up and up, if he's spending time with you and you're acknowledged, that's a whole different story. If his wife is okay with it and you've met the wife and the wife has already explained to you that she's all right with it and you can come over to the family barbecues and you're there at Christmas and Thanksgiving, you all a family, that's a whole other story. But just being some fractionated piece off in the dark someplace that nobody damn knows about. So if something happened to you, who do you turn to, sis? If you get stranded on the side of the road, who do you turn to? If you need money above and beyond what it is that he can afford to spare without his family noticing, who do you turn to? When you need to work through your stuff emotionally, when you need an ear and an open arm and you need somebody with an unlimited amount of time and resources to be able to invest in you. I'm talking about limited by his capabilities. I'm not just talking about unlimited like he just has unlimited, but I'm talking about within his capabilities has the ability to be able to invest in you. When you need help, sis, who do you turn to? If you got kicked out of your apartment, if you didn't have a place to stay, where can you stay? This man is unavailable. And is he able to maintain multiple households with the knowledge of his wife? And are you okay with this? Is he okay with you dating other people? Are you able to stay in this relationship and see other people so that when you do need to have your needs met, that they are met? Who do you turn to, sis? Who do you run to heal your broken heart? Who do you turn to? Who do you have in your corner who is willing to get down into the trenches and fight with you, sis? Who do you have? And if you allow yourself willingly to be number 2, 3, or 4 in this relationship, how much? Listen to me. How much do you love yourself? How much? And don't fool yourself into thinking that he loves you. How much can he love you? And he would squander your youth with you. How much could he love you? That he would take of your life hours that you cannot get back and use them for his own greed and satisfaction. How much? And I hope that this video serves as a wake-up call. Please share this video with who you feel needs to hear it today. If you need money, if you need housing, if you need food, if you need the emotional investment, who do you turn to? These are my questions. I want to know. I want to know. And maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe there's some other type of marriage that exists out there or some type of side piece relationship that exists out there where you are completely satisfied and respected. Tell me, educate me, help me know the and the flaw of my ways. Write me in the comments below. Okay, yeah, there's some people who are separated. Oh yeah, there's some people whose wives are this, that, and the other. If he is still on paper in this union, without dissolving that first, while there is still possibility of reconciliation. I'm talking about people who are separated, or whatever the number of many flowerful ways that people decide to say it. Then, you know what? And I'm going to say this, right? Even if at some point, listen, even if at some point he decides to leave, will you ever be able to trust him? Ever? What have you won at the end of the day? If you win, quote unquote, win, what have you truly won? You have won a man with limited integrity. You've won a man who showed you that he's willing to cheat on his responsibility. You've won a man who has shown you that he does not value his commitments, that he's not committed to his commitments. What have you won? What is it that you're staying in this for? What is the end goal and the end game? If this man is not a man who is responsible enough to dissolve those things before becoming involved, what have you won? Listen, it's like it's time that we started holding men to task. He wants to be a leader, right? Where is this leader leading the troops? Where is he leading you, sis? What type of leader is he? Does he demonstrate that he is a responsible, caring, just, and knowledgeable leader? He's cheating. He's lying. How do you respect a man who's a liar? He's a liar. How do you respect a man who will cheat on his wife and his children? Listen, if this is so much of the case, you know what? There's this thing called emotional intelligence. And if it's so much of the case that he's so unhappy in his marriage, then his wife should know. They should dissolve it. Why is he getting some sort of backup plan so he see, oh, if things are good enough over here, then I'll leave? This is a man who is not demonstrated. What has he demonstrated about his abilities as a leader? Has he demonstrated that he has the ability to have an emotionally intelligent conversation and speak up about what is right for him and what is not right for him? 80% of divorces are initiated by women, which means that there are men who just go along for the doggone ride. Is he a man who's just going to go along for the ride, cheating, lying, absconding, and stealing his way around? Is this a man that you can truly respect, sis? This is what I'm saying. It's not about him. Because if you put yourself in a situation with a human being like that, it is about you. What is it that you're doing to yourself? How much do you love yourself? At the moment that he finished hopping up and down on top of you, climaxing, blowing your back out and dumping his load, that the moment that his load is squirting out, his pants are already being pulled up and telling you that you got to get the F out. What are you doing to yourself, sis? Why are you allowing this, sis? Why are you allowing a person who is categorically, systematically, and definitively unavailable to have a piece of you, to have availability to you? How much do you love yourself, sis? How much? Wake up. Love yourself. And loving yourself is not easy when you haven't been shown how. And you know what? Let me just say this real quick. The karma that you bring on yourself. How do you even trust your own husband when you see, when you were willing to roll out there in a sty with somebody else's? How do you then trust your husband? What type of husband will you attract to you? Will you be able to trust him when he goes out there? Or do you know the deal already? Oh. You know the techniques because you've been on the other side of it. What will you attract into your life? By way or by way fear? How? What? And listen, loving yourself is not easy if you don't know how. If you grew up in an environment where maybe somebody didn't respect your parents' marriage, or your father didn't respect the union, because a man not only cheats on his wife, he cheats on his children too. Maybe you were one of those children. And maybe this just seems normal to you, to have contempt for the institute of marriage, to have contempt for another woman and their union over there, to have contempt enough to squander yourself in contempt for that. How much do you love yourself, sis? So like I'm saying, maybe it ain't easy to know how. This is why I wrote this book. This is why I wrote this book, the book of affirmation, self-love. I wrote this book for people who do not know how. How do you love yourself? That is the question. How do you go from where it is that you are right now into a space of having love and joyous jubilation inside of you? How do you go from where it is that you are now to where it is that you want to be if you don't know how? This is why I wrote the book. This is an affirmations book. It's a workbook and it's a journal where you go and you write. You write out the text and the paragraphs. You do this right before you go to sleep or right after you wake up when your subconscious mind is supple and pliable. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist and I'm a life coach. And I've also studied evolutionary biology and an emphasis in neuro-linguistic programming. This book, I created these sentences to use the linguistics to alter the neurons of your brain to create new patterns and pathways. Your mind, you have neuroplasticity, which means that your mind is constantly evolving and growing and forming new connectors as well as losing old connectors. What is it that the book is $20, it's on Amazon. You can get the link below. You can go to Amazon and search for Tonya TKO. But how much are you willing to invest in having a different life and a different future? This is like I'm telling you, this is why I wrote the book. I wrote the book for the people who do not know how to be able to make that shift. You don't have to know. Just do the work in the book. Write all you even if you don't want to do the workbook parts, okay. Come back and do those once you start being reattuned to self-love. Just rewrite the affirmations. That's all I ask of you. There's a space on every page to rewrite the affirmations. And every page doesn't have workbook stuff. So all you have to do is just rewrite the affirmations. Are you willing to do that for yourself? If you are, then I'm here for you to be able to help you get to the next level. If you are dating a married man, an unavailable man, you don't love yourself, sis. There are different layers to self-loving. You're not taking care of yourself, sis. You are self-abusing through this relationship because of whatever it is that you have going on the inside where you feel that you don't deserve better or you don't want better or you despise the institute of marriage or you have despising for XYZ out there. You have to release that and let it go. You have to release that and let it go. And there are many affirmations in there about love and attracting love. So get that book, shift yourself, shift out of that relationship and attract high vibrational love to you with a man who is going to love, honor, and cherish you, who is going to put you first. Isn't it time that you were at the top of someone's hierarchy? Isn't it time that a person made a commitment to you, that they invested in you, that they put their name and their stamp down on it, and they signed papers before God and country, congregation and family, that they choose you? Isn't it time that you were first? So that if there's an argument that needs to be had, that he's not like, oh, this is too much, I'm out of here. That he rolls up his sleeves and says, you know what, let's dig into this, let's fix this. Let's fix this because I care about you and I want us to be good. A person who's willing to go down into the fight with you, for you. If you're driving at 2 in the morning and your tire flattens out, that you could call a person who will answer the phone. That you don't hear the click when it goes to voicemail. When you need him, listen to what it is that I'm saying. Isn't it time? Isn't it time that you came first, at least in your own life? Let's start there. Let's start there. Let's start at least putting you first in your own life. Because how many of us out there are putting our own wants and needs aside, letting other people have their way and get their way, and we don't stand up for ourselves? At the very least, sis, put yourself first in your own life. Let's start with that. Let's start with that. And if you don't know how, or even if you feel that you know how and you needed assistance, or even if you don't think that you need assistance, because if you read the reviews, there were people who got the book as a gift and they didn't know that they needed it. Listen, there are levels to this. There are levels to self-love. There are people who got the book and they say they did not know that this is what was missing from their life. It was the piece that put it all together. One person even commented and reviewed that they may even be getting married soon after the book. They started naturally working out. Look at me. Since I've been doing the book myself, look at you, girl. Look at me. For real. Look at me. Look at me. Since the book has been published, I've been doing, look, this is my book right here. This is my book. And the beauty of this book is when you flip through it, there's something going on in your life. When you flip through the book, you find a page that is exactly what you're going through. This is my book. This is why it is written in. I autographed it to myself. I autographed it. It says, "Thank you, Tonya." I thank myself. You know, because look, you got to love and appreciate yourself, right? Doggone. Let's start with you, right? And even me. And all of my levels of abundance and all this, that, and the other. It's like, we're all here on this earth on a journey, right? And if you're still on this earth, there's still stuff needed for you to do here. There's still stuff needed for you to do here. And you can have more of whatever it is, more abundance, more something, more this, more attune, more line, more relationship, more fun, more travel. Oh, homeboys and homegirls, I'm getting my ticket to Nigeria today. More travel, more mystique, more food, more music, more dancing, more bumsies rubbing up in front of you, more, just more. If you're still like, even me, I mean, my life is together, but still I could get to the next level. I'm working on attracting more abundance. Right now I'm in a state of mourning because I'm mourning who it is that I used to be before. And I am coming into who it is that I am now. My book is going into luxury hotels and spas across the country, and I have to mourn the attachment that I had, even though I was good before. I'm mourning that attachment, and the book is helping me work through that. This is why I wrote the book. I wrote the book to help because I've been on YouTube for 12 years, and I hear what it is that you all talk about and come to me with. And when I was living in my car in 2016 and I had to revitalize myself into self-love, these are the affirmations that I said. Everything happens for a reason. And you're going to have to mourn the identification with the person who you were before. Mourn the identification that you have with a woman who is willing to allow herself to be second or third on somebody's list. You're going to have to mourn that woman, and you're going to have to become reborn. And it's not an easy process. The book will help you through that. All you got to do is just write the affirmations out. They're written in neuro-linguistic programming, and you reprogram yourself. Easy as that. All you have to do is just write it before bed, before sleep, or after wake. Simple as that. So on that note, let's hug. I love you all. Let's hug. Thank you. Yes. Now go out there and love one another. But most importantly, what? Love yourself. That's right. Love yourself. Most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is how do I put this? Part of loving yourself is investigating within yourself. Part of loving yourself is putting yourself first, allowing yourself to be first. Part of loving yourself is realizing that just because you did something one way before doesn't mean that that's the way that it has to be forever. Loving yourself is allowing yourself to grow. Forgive yourself for the stuff that happened in the past. Loving yourself is forgiving, moving forward, and capturing what it is that you do want. Okay, I understand you're involved with a married man or an unavailable man. I understand because that's who it is that you are right now. Love yourself enough to become the woman that you want to be. And it'll help. Hey. If this is the woman you want to be, just disregard everything that I said. But if there's another woman, if you know that there's more, listen to what it is that I'm saying. If you know that there's more out there for you, love yourself enough to know that you can have it. Even if you've done wrong in the past, even if you've done wrong, loving yourself enough to forgive yourself. And I do have a Forgive MP3 on my website, which is revolutionary. I take you into hypnosis, and you're able to forgive even yourself and move forward. That's on my website, TonyaTKO.com. And on that note, look, I'm going to get up here and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.